So you're all back. We're back. Got a bit of news, maybe kind of news. Going to see what you think and see what they think, because somebody else may be back. You may or may not be aware that Series 13 of Doctor Who is presently filming in fits and starts, mostly around the Cardiff area, I think still in Wales. And we're getting rumours that an old enemy is about to reappear in the show. Now, I don't know if anybody's heard about this. This comes from, apparently this is all over Gallifrey base, and the TARDIS Zone on Twitter have been talking about this too. So yeah, the Autons are rumoured to be making their way back to Doctor Who after several years away. I can't remember the last time we saw an Auton. I think it could have been something to do with Rory. I can't quite remember. But yeah, the Autons there, we see them in Spearhead from Space, of course, in 1970, and then Rose in 2005. And presently, they're the opening discs, aren't they? The opening adversaries on the season 8 box set, which is popping through people's doors at the moment. But yeah, the Autons. Now, I've always loved the Autons. I think a lot of you probably have too. Oh yeah, Autons, hair plastic. That's the ones. Starry-eyed girl blind. The Autons will outact the main cast. Oh, we're starting early, everybody. We're starting early. But yeah, I've always loved the Autons. I think that most Doctor Who fans sort of do. But let's see what they think. Let's bring her in first. She seems to have a lot to say. Welcome back to Starry-eyed Girl, Sarah Graham. Hi, Sarah. You okay?
I'm good. Oh, I'm excellent, Dan. Schools are open.
Welcome back to reality, to normality. And so you can hear yourself think now that the Sprogs are back at school, can you?
Well, one's back, the other one goes back on Thursday, but it's been a lot calmer so far this week.
Yeah,
so I'm enjoying that.
Coming on to Type 40 Live, it's not going to get any calmer for the next couple of hours.
I know. So, I've got rid of some children, and now I'm back with more children.
Things could get a little bit leery, yeah, because this is the Spacebook. This is the best channel that you'd never heard of course, and this is Type 40 Live, part of our Doctor Who content here on the Spacebook. It's our regular, casual, totally live, talky, geeky live stream exploring all the worlds of Doctor Who, past and present, the far past. So yeah, have you heard anything about this with the Autons, Sarah?
Do you know what? I haven't. I don't really seek out the rumours and things and what's going off. It just doesn't interest me. I mean, normally I'd be really excited that the Autons are coming back, but yeah, with this one, it's it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. I can't wait for Yaz to be taken and turn into an Auton duplicate. Will we know the difference?
Okay. Let's see if I can find somebody who's excited. Let's bring in Barnaby Jago. See if Barnaby Jago's excited. You excited about this, Barnaby?
I was laughing. I was laughing backstage there because that's exactly right. My God, how will we be able to tell the difference between Mandy Gill's acting and a plastic mannequin? Thankfully, the next season I hear is going to be very, very short, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
sorry, Mandy. We're 2 for 2 at the moment. Who else should we try? Should we try JT? See what he's got to say. Yes, I think JT. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
you?
Spookers. Hello.
Are you a fan of an Auton?
I love the Autons.
Plastic pal.
Yeah, I'm a great fan of the Auton, but unfortunately, Doctor Who is no longer on the air. So how can they come back to anything?
Which is the correct answer. Apparently, they're filming something called Doctor Who somewhere in the UK at the moment.
It's always a thing. It's always a thing when they bring back a new monster. I just find myself thinking, how are they going to ruin it this time? It's going to be. I can't wait.
In this new set of episodes that they're doing, they've got Angels, the Sontarans, a Dalek, and the Autons. I mean, how desperate do you have to be, Chibnall? And still, we're not interested. Move on.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. It's not looking good at the moment, is it, Chris? Let's see what Simon Horton's got to say. Hiya, Simon. You okay, mate?
Hello, folks. Well, all I can say is I've been watching and thoroughly enjoying Terror of the Autons in my season 8 box set.
Excellent.
That's all I have to say on the matter. I've been thoroughly enjoying Terror of the Autons, and that's all I have to say on the matter. Thank you.
Very diplomatic, Simon.
I'm going to be opening mine in a moment. Let's see who's not in the room. Yes, we've got Charlotte Shields is with us as well. Hiya, Charlotte. You okay?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello. So the Autons may be back.
Am I working?
Yes, we can hear you. So the Autons may be back. What do you think about this? Do you think it's likely? Are you excited at all?
Well, they had a chance last series with a whole plastic episode, so it's like, why do it now? You've already done your Let's Save the Environment episode, Chib, so...
Yeah.
Benny?
We did kind of... a few of us did talk about that.
No,
we did
I'm
think
getting
this would be the ideal
flashbacks.
episode. This would be the ideal episode. Okay, only one more to go. Let's see what the mega geek Ian David Diaz has to say. Ian, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right now. I don't care about this Doctor Who anymore. So I didn't even know they were coming back, and I don't care. So that's
Well, we
all I have
don't
to say
know
about
for
that.
certain. At the moment, it is just a rumor based on these couple of images. So where are they? Yes, here they are. These images that I was sent earlier today. So there's a video out there, which is apparently location filming out there in public. Apparently the outside world does still exist. So filming has been going on. Somebody captured this on their smartphone, an entire video of this bus, redressed bus driving past with this sign. That's Autons, as you can all see. And whether they're advertising, I don't know if it's bifocals or some sort of new glasses technology. Obviously, we don't know yet. Now, like you could say, well, this could be any bus. That could be any bus poster. So I went and had a look. I did a quick Google search to see if there was some sort of company out there called Autons using the see yourself with style sort of tagline. None that I could find. The closest I could find is a hair restoration clinic that calls itself Auton. So this is nobody's brand that I could find. So it does point towards the fact that the Autons may indeed be back.
Or I suppose it could just be a little sight gag for Doctor Who fans. It's a little
like Easter egg. Yeah.
little Easter egg. Yeah, it could just be.
Can you can feel how adrenalized everybody is, can't you, Chris? You can. Look, you're teasing and tantalizing us as always. Let's see what people think in the chat about this. Oh, Richard Brooks is here. Greetings, distinguished panel.
Greetings.
I think you're on the wrong stream, Richard. Hope you're all having a good day. It's good to see you, mate. Sadako says, speaking of Autons, I have a trailer for me and my friends for the Auton Factory on my channel. That's a sneaky way of putting in a plug, and that means I didn't read the message before I put it up. But the Auton Factory.
Well done, Sadako.
Yes, you managed to get that one in under the radar. Richard Brooks again. Bob Holmes will be spinning in his grave.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, it's not going down that well. Return of the Autons. Are they sure that's wise? The walking plastic dummies might overshadow the current cast. Everybody's going with the same gag, Chris. It's not looking good. And yeah, people generally reacting in largely the same way. Oh dear, it's not. I think that is. I mean, people are numb to it, aren't they? It's impossible to really be excited or engaged while you know that the writers are going to be largely the same. So yeah, that's a little bit of Doctor Who, perhaps news. In the meantime, of course, if you are hungry for Autons, we have our box sets, don't we? We have our Blu-ray box set, Simon. Shall I open mine now or later?
I can't believe you still haven't opened it. Mine arrived on Friday, and the wrapping was just.
I think you should unwrap it now. I mean, this is a great thing, Facebook, because here we are being really hip and trendy and doing one of these unopening things that you find on YouTube.
Unboxing videos,
so, Dan, hurry up and open up your package.
Open up, hey!
And apparently, I'm hearing rumours that apparently some of the booklets are going out with misprints in, with the wrong pages in. So you need to check your booklet.
Well, it isn't the Blu-ray release without some errors. That's just the way it goes.
Sarah, I also read something this morning on Twitter that somebody was having sound problems again, and I thought, why don't they get anything right? These people, stop messing your customer base around, for crying out loud.
I nearly pulled the wrong end. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make myself large to expose my package.
Hurrah!
Finally, give the people what they want.
Hey. Yes, be careful what you wish for, everybody. Be careful what you wish for.
The view figures have just gone down.
What's going on? There we are.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that it?
Upside down. That was obviously from Australia. Yes, there we are. It is all present and correct, and they've sent the right one. Yeah, it says there season 8.
You haven't opened it yet. Open it up to see if it's the right one.
Yeah, but open it and just check inside.
I know that there are people out there who are a bit knocked about this brand new certification thing there.
Well, was that because of the special features? Is there something a bit naughty?
Yeah, it's definitely the 12 is definitely on the bonus disc, as I recall,
Right.
not on any of the regular discs.
Yeah.
So
It's probably running the risk of upsetting some person or other for some reason or other.
Yeah, somebody who's easily offended might well be easily offended by just about anything on the disc.
Absolutely.
we will never know. Yes, that's going to get slid onto my shelf. You said there's a fault in the booklet. Some of the pages.
Well,
are
apparently,
wrong.
I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I've been told that apparently some of the booklets are going out with duplicated pages in, as opposed to the correct pages. So check your booklet and make sure you haven't got duplicated pages within your booklet. I think is the. But I haven't heard of any other faults at the moment.
Can we have a look at the inside, Simon? Can we have a look at your inside?
Oh, not on camera.
We're matron
You can have a look at my inside. So I mean, it's fairly predictable stuff by now. We know what to expect. But I will talk you through this a little bit. I was surprised by sort of this picture here, because we've gone with Colony in Space. I guess I can see the reason for going Colony in Space, because it's the only one in which the sort of TARDIS is out on location. And I love the Blu-rays the way they always have a picture here of the TARDIS in exactly the same position. They get it the same every time, just with a different background, which I thought was rather neat. The one thing that I was very surprised at is the well, firstly, you get this inside. You get a new, more exciting, for the first time we get more exciting products from Doctor Who. Oh, my life isn't complete until I've seen a lovely picture of Jodie. So you basically get now you get now this advertising thing inside as well.
Is that the one Ian got in the Steelbook last week?
I think it probably is, Ian. Yeah, I think it probably is.
It's the same thing.
They probably all
Same
have
thing,
them.
right?
What surprised me with this one, actually, and I still can't quite understand the reasons for this, and that the booklet, that's the one, Ian, that's the one.
Look at his face.
The booklet at this time, most of the photos in the booklet are all in black and white, which seems really odd, because we've got colour pictures from season 8, and I always think season 8, as you can see from the cover, is one of the most colourful seasons, literally the most colourful seasons in the entire run. So why do the booklet mostly black and white? It just seems really, really odd. And the other thing that I still can't get my head around is why we spent an entire disc on putting in an old version of Colony in Space, an old restoration of Colony in Space. There's an entire disc devoted to an old restoration of Colony in Space. And I still can't understand the reason for that, because you can't tell that there's no point in putting the old one in, to me.
Unless
The only thing
why I haven't got mine yet.
Completism. It could be completism, Simon, so people can,
it could be
say you've got the whole thing.
The other thing I'm thinking, there are literally a couple of extra special features on that second Colony in Space disc that maybe just didn't fit, so you couldn't put all of Colony in Space on one disc. So they kind of said, oh, look, if we're going to have to throw an extra disc in, put in the old restoration as well. But I can't imagine anybody watching the old restoration when they've got the new one there.
Did they, on the season 12 box set, did they put the edited version and compilation of Genesis on there?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes, they did.
They
But there's a difference between a compilation version that was put out at Christmas and just an old restoration of 6 episodes of Colony in Space that aren't very good quality.
Maybe it is just completion then, just to say, well, here's all the various variants we've had. Have them all. Here's the
But
library.
in that case, why aren't we putting them on all the stories? Why don't we put all the previous restorations on? Why Colony in Space?
right.
I don't know. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. Don't write in, everybody. I'm not complaining. I love the box sets. I just can't quite understand.
I think it's because Colony in Space, they might have gone through a totally different process to get to this end result. I think this marries up with something of what Richard Molesworth was saying on the very latest edition of the Type 40 Doctor Who podcast.
That was smooth, Dan. Very smooth.
He's getting better at this, isn't he?
You can find across Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. So you go out and download or stream that wherever, and it's coming to the Spacebook channel later in the week. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, with these Blu-rays, is that we wait and wait and wait and wait, and we had
Still
an
waiting.
insight, didn't we, on that podcast, Simon? He's still waiting, and we had some insight from Richard as to the whys and the wherefores and the logistics of the numbers, even why they only make a certain limited amount. So yeah, it's all explained in there. A lot of these questions are answered. Richard Moles was very generous with his time, told us as much as he could, really, without pulling back the curtain too far. So yeah, I'd recommend that podcast. But then again,
do you know what gets me? What gets me about this, which it actually sort of makes me really quite happy, which doesn't happen these days. Believe me, Facebookers. But it has. I mean, the whole week has been. I've seen on all social platforms people holding up their copies and smiling. Yeah. Beat that, Chibnall.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Good
JT.
point. That's Doctor Who joy
as well. The little ones too, going, "Oh, we got season 8."
Well, I have to be honest. I honestly, you're right. My Facebook is just full of people just receiving season 8 and being excited. I honestly can't ever remember seeing anybody put in their Jodie Whittaker steelbook up and saying, "Wow, season 12's arrived."
No, well, Ian burnt his.
Along with the action figures, yeah.
Charlotte,
it wasn't me.
Well, you get cheaper, so that might make you happy. It's going for like 30% off right now.
30% off.
No, we don't. We're not interested.
Off, and I'd still send them back.
Oh
yeah.
I think I'm having tech issues again.
Yeah, she's the sound. Charlotte's sounds just sort of coming and going a little.
Are you up on the moon again?
She's travelling around in the TARDIS. That's why we can't hear her properly.
Yeah, I think my tech's hating me again.
Ian, am I to understand after your box set, after your steelbook last week, you placed an order for this Blu-ray?
I did.
When you've been able to secure one, but they just can't promise delivery.
Where did you get it from?
eBay.
Where did you order it from?
eBay.
Wow. Okay.
From a scalper, basically.
I don't want to order it from Amazon because I'll be giving BBC money, and I don't really want to give them money. So this is
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
So,
understandable, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to
I hope
Zoom.
you get it soon.
Saying to everybody, go and order your Blu-rays from Zoom. I got mine last Friday, and everybody else from Amazon have only just receiving theirs today or yesterday. Go to Zoom. And if you no, seriously, I'm not. I don't mean that at anything other than look. You'll get your Blu-rays.
Too late now, mate. It's too late now.
I'm talking about next
last
time.
week.
Next time, you don't give the money to Amazon. You give it to Zoom, and you also get 10% off if you set up a new account. You get 10% off.
Wow!
Now you're
Simon, are you working for Zoom? That was a good sales pitch there.
No,
commission.
I'm just saying to people, why would you go to other retailers and pay more and get them a week later?
This is what we used to do, wasn't it, in the old days, where you would say, right, I got this book from certain, and you pass the word around, so everybody was doing it then. But so the next one is season 24. When's that due?
Season 24 is out the 1st of June, everybody. 1st of June.
Well,
That's the date. That's the date at the moment. Will you be pre-ordering that one, Barnaby? Where do you stand on the Blu-rays? Are you as much in love with these items as we are?
I love the Blu-rays, and particularly I haven't spent any money on them because my housemate's buying all of them. So it's like, yeah, they're here. Brilliant. He's just got his in the post to him today. So I'm like,
that's terrible.
I'm the real
whole
scalp.
weekend.
Yeah. There's a whole weekend.
We have. I'm worried about my season 8 box set now. I must check the booklets, says Darren Poet.
Listen, Darren, don't worry about them because, as we know, these things can turn collectible, and you might be able to sell it for a couple of hundred extra quid in a few years' time. Don't worry too much.
Yeah.
Plus, the other thing to be said is if there are problems out there, that you can write to BBC Studios and they will send you a replacement. I'm just reading this. Sadly, Zoom is yet another retailer who won't ship to Canada.
Oh, that's the state of the times today.
I'm sorry.
Does anybody know that Doctor Who the movie? Anybody know that if they're going to release it via 16:9? Because the only versions that are out there on Blu-rays for free, which really pisses me off.
I think that's because it was shot in 4:3.
I know, but it was shot 16:9, so there's got to be a 16:9 version somewhere.
I don't think it was.
It was shot. There's no look. If you're shooting 4:3, you're shooting 16:9. They just basically shoot. They shoot 16:9.
Well, you're talking about cropping the screen then.
No. They shoot 16:9, and then they put that 16:9 into the square of the TV. Therefore, you get 4:3. But originally, everything is shot 16:9. Anything, well, apart from the Doctor Who, the BBC things. But when you shoot it on film, it's always 16:9. So
What was
there
the
should be a
Blu-ray
69
release?
version out there. It's for
Ian, what was
free.
the Blu-ray?
Well,
oh, was it?
Yeah, for
I've never
free.
opened it. It's over there.
It
Yes,
was.
for free.
There are still reams, we're told, boxes and boxes of material from the TV movie
Yeah.
somewhere at Universal that the BBC
Ooh.
haven't got access to. I mean, I know there's an extended cut, I think, that could be on that Blu-ray, but there's a lot more footage that has still never seen the light of day in
gonna
now
wait.
nearly 25 years. So who knows when that does make it? Because I'd say that the TV movie will join this collection of box sets
I hope so.
eventually,
Mhm.
somehow. But how
You
they'll
could tag
get hold
it
of
on the
whatever
end
they
of,
get hold of, I don't
26,
know.
can't they?
Well,
Have an
no,
extra
I
disc
wouldn't
by
do
26.
that. I wouldn't do that.
No,
I would have a
I would
dedicated
give it
box
its own
set.
dedicated release, and I would
Mini box.
think of how many extra discs you could put as dancers, not only on the behind the scenes stuff of the movie, but then you can do loads of stuff on the wilderness years as well. You can just put all of that stuff that was happening in the between years, between the end of Survival and then going into Rose. All of that goes into one box set. One of the major problems they've got with the movie is I don't think they will ever put it out in true HD with rescanned negatives, because the way they edited the movie, it means that you would have to recut it entirely from scratch.
Yeah.
They will do it.
They haven't got the negative. They've got all the rushes in negatives, but not the.
Yeah, no, but
so
they have.
they'll never do it.
No, but Simon, they have the rushes on whatever format that we're putting it on. So if you go back up, yes, it'd probably be on a D1, or it might be on a beta cam or a digibeta or something. So they will have the full frame.
No, they've got that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, but firstly, if you have got the full 16:9, it was shot for a 4x3 television back in 95. Nobody had widescreen tellies. So all I'm saying is, Ian, is if they have got the extra bits at the side, if they have, they won't be intended to be on screen. So it's just junk at the side. But
it's the full frame though. That's what we're after. The full frame. Doesn't matter if there's nothing at the sides or whatever. We need the full frame. For free, that went out with the 70s Doctor Who. Come on. So this was made when was the Doctor Who the movie
1996.
made?
So the distinction. So the distinction that you're making, Ian, between what Simon's point is the fact that yes, it was shot in 16:9, but it may not have been directed with 16:9 in mind.
It doesn't matter.
Therefore,
it's still there.
The excess image.
It's like I'll give you an example, Simon. It's like Quincy, right? Quincy was shot for free, right? The show Quincy, right? And now when they show it on ITV, it's been redigitized and it's 16:9. Because they went back to the negs and they got the negs and they basically redid it.
No,
same thing with Kojak.
I don't doubt that. What I'm saying is, I don't know if I'm going to want to see the stuff of the size, because it's probably the edge of the set. It's probably the edge of the set.
You won't see it.
Let's go with the script in the corner.
It's nothing.
No, if they know their salt, right, they would make sure that nothing else is in the frame, whatever. And if it is in the frame, they can digitally remove it these days. So come on.
Well, let's say to the team, if they are going to do this and they are going to put the 1996 TV movie out on its own sort of box set, and they are going to include some documentaries about the wilderness years, get in touch with Dan.Hadley at Spacebook, because we are here to do a live show for you, because we were there in the wheel. Don't go to the usual oldie fans who have had their time. Don't be bothered. Here we are here. We can put a show together for you, and we'll only accept minimum payment. Cheers.
Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see if they did do stuff by the wilderness years. If they stuck in like clips from that, wasn't there like a VHS game or something which had Anthony Ainley in it, which was in the 90s? Destiny of the Doctor. Stick in that and maybe like put that together in Blu-ray, because I think it's on YouTube and it's quite fun to watch.
Also, just coming off a bit, they say that in Doctor Who the movie, it was the first time the Doctor Who kissed someone. That's rubbish, isn't it? Because the first time Doctor Who kissed someone was Romana. He kissed Romana, and it was a proper kiss. In the Christmas thing. In the Christmas thing, when they were giving, what's his name?
Mary Tam. That's an outtake. They don't kiss anyway.
They don't kiss.
Okay.
There's no lips. There's no contact.
There's that sound again of a barrel being scraped. It happens a lot sometimes.
There's no contact. They get that close, and then
the differences between broadcast Doctor Who and actual Doctor Who. Well, you could say that Nissa's little kiss with the fifth Doctor. Charlotte's had some technical problems; she's had to dip out. The Nissa kiss with the fifth Doctor, you could count that as the first kiss. I don't know. My personal view is that the longer that they leave it, to release the TV movie,
Yeah, I know,
the longer
yeah, I know.
they've got to hopefully persuade Universal to. I mean, if they've got to grease their palms with whatever, I know that the budget on these sets is quite tight, and Universal own that material. There's no two ways about that. They actually own everything that was shot, and maybe they'll never get hold of it. It's frustrating to know that it exists, and lots exists. Apparently, there's a guy out there, and I can't remember his name, but I used to talk to him on Gallifrey Base when that forum was actually usable, and he was driving a campaign. This was before the special edition of the DVD came out of it, let alone the Blu-ray of the TV movie, because he'd actually been into Universal or into some offices, and he'd managed to get an itinerary of everything that actually did exist, and it was and he'd got actual documentation. Wasn't just pulling it out of his bottom and explaining where it was, why it existed, who owned it, and why they couldn't free it up. And there were people actively trying to get that material released for a potential special edition release, which did come, but it didn't include any of that stuff. So, I think the longer that it goes on, obviously, what good is that material to anybody sat there in a shelf, in a drawer, just on some sort of in a cupboard somewhere, somebody we want to
be honest,
see
they may not realize they've even got it because Universal heads would have changed so many times now, and the staff would have but there you go.
But I'm just praying that whatever they do a proper HD transfer of the negs, of the film negs, and rebuilds the film from scratch, because everything up until now has just been at best an upscale of the
I know, but the thing is, though, I don't think they need to go back to the negs, because to actually edit it on film in those days, you had to put it on a digital format. So they must have put it on a digital format, and those digital formats probably still exist. That's what I'm saying, that there is a chance that they can do a lot. Obviously, they have to tie up who owns what and whatever, but they're still going to have to rebuild.
They're still going to have to re-edit it.
No, but they did it,
and that's where I think that they might.
I know. It's a long shot, but it just might.
I'm praying they do. I'm praying they do.
I think
an asset list. Correct, PD Rich. It's an asset list. We know. I think we're going to move on from this.
Thank you, PD Rich, in the chat, stepping in with the correct terminology there. Before we leave the subject of the Blu-ray thing completely, our friend Jazz Singh has been in touch. He's put together something which I think, I thought it was pretty smart. Let's have a look and see if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. This is Jazz Singh. He believes that they should bring back Doctor Who Confidential, which I know is a question for another time. But what he's done is to remind people out there why they like that show so much. He's put together a Doctor Who Confidential trailer for season 8. So have a look at this.
That's brilliant.
I missed that music. I got so much nostalgia there, and I liked it.
I thought that was quite smart.
Sounds so good on headphones. God, had like the shivers in the field.
Yeah. So staying with the classic vibe, sadly, we've got to talk about this. It's some sad news that we've had this week, and it's the passing of David Bailie here. Aged of 83, David Bailie passed away a few days ago. English actor known for his many performances on stage, television, and film. In the 60s and 70s, he worked for the National Theatre, the Royal Shakespeare Company, and he's also obviously in later years well recognised by a new generation of people for a recurring role, the pirate who doesn't speak in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, like Cotton, the character's called. So he's been in those, but we know him best, of course, don't we, as the character of Dask in Robots of Death in 1977, the classic Tom Baker story. David Bailie was a regular on the convention circuit and the collectors' fairs and things like that. He would sign your Pirates of the Caribbean eye patch, and he would sign lots of DVDs of the Robots of Death and things like that. Later on, he would return. Well, he was in Blake 7 as well, wasn't he? Yeah, of course, he was in Blake 7 too. And of course, later on, he returned to the Doctor Who universe to play the Celestial Toy Maker for Big Finish. But yeah, this is how you'll have seen him in Doctor Who. That incredible performance as Dask in
So
the
good.
Robots of Death. It's a sad loss, isn't it, Barnaby? An actor like this.
Oh, really, really sad. I didn't even know he was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I didn't even twig that, because now that's fantastic. I want to go and rewatch those now. Even being silent, he's just like completely.
I watched Robots of Death over the weekend.
He's got one of those. It's just got one of those faces, hasn't he, Ian? So when you watched it over the weekend, just was this by coincidence or
no? By coincidence. The reason why I was watching it because I was trying to catch up with all the stuff that Leela did in Doctor Who. So I watched all the episodes with. Come on, she's gorgeous, and you know, and I didn't realize how many people she had killed throughout.
Loads, loads,
a lot of people.
In Talent, it's like a bloodbath, isn't it?
Yeah,
she actually threw a knife in someone's back once.
She did that quite a lot, and then she had a bit of fruitcake.
Yeah, she was amazing. I was just trying to, because I couldn't remember. Well, I do remember it obviously because she's Leela, and so I just I just thought this weekend I'll watch all the episodes with her in it. And you know what? When you do watch them all together, she's got a really good arc. Do you know what I mean? And she's like,
Leela is a fantastic character. I always think she's a really underrated companion. I think Louise Jameson's performance is just utterly sublime. It is amazing. It's I can't think of anybody ever doing a better job with Leela than Louise Jameson does. She brings so much to that part. And let's not forget that at that time, Tom Baker, by his own admission, really didn't want her to be there. He didn't want the character there.
He didn't. Yeah.
She was having a really, really tough time, and yet she still gives the most incredible performance. So all credit to her.
I mean, brilliant. What's interesting about the whole Leela thing is that when you watch it again, you realize that she was doing all her own stunts. There was a shot where she was on a step, and a guy came out with a gun, and she leaped off the step, jumped on the guy. Obviously, the guy was letting her do the thing, whatever, because it was really badly choreographed. And kind of, I think she hit him or something like that. And I was thinking, that's her. There's no stunt person. Do you know what I mean? She could have sprained her leg or whatever. But that's the amazing thing about the show.
She didn't do was jumping through the window in Talents. Everything else, everything else she did. She does the jump onto the back of the hansom cab as it's rattling away at the end of
and also they talk about strong women in Doctor Who, right? She was the strongest in my opinion. She's quite straightforward with what she wanted. She was also very physical. She was beautiful. You know what I mean? And you can't get any better than that, can you? And she wasn't from Earth. That's the best thing I liked about the companion that the Doctor had. And also she was kicking ass while the Doctor was like just doing his doctory thing. And that's why I watched them all. I thought, we're going to we should think about another companion like that. Obviously, not killing.
Well, they did try to. John Nathan Turner did try to replicate that with Ace, and with some success. It has to be said. Digby Strawbridge here in the chat says, "Watching Leela is time well spent." Fools will say that the classic series never had strong female characters. She was incredibly strong. And what I like about, when we go back to the story, what I like about Louise Jameson playing Leela is she played her with somehow with this believability to her, and yet she'd lived in this sort of alien primitive society and was in this hyper real series, and thrust into situations where she's sort of facing characters like this. She manages to find the truth in that character and the innocence of her. JT, there's an innocence to Leela which contrasts with the fact that she would quite easily slit your throat as soon as if she felt that she was under danger, or the people that she cared about were in danger.
I mean, the difference was, of course, with Leela is and as young people who were watching it at the time, totally different to Sarah Jane.
Totally.
And that was the beauty of it, that actually worked. But to go back to that point there about strong women in Doctor Who, we've had strong women running right through Doctor Who on and off screen since '63, and it really frustrates me. Especially with yesterday being the International Women's Day. It really frustrates me that there are people around now that just assume that Doctor Who has got a profile because of females in it today. It's utter nonsense. They've been there since the very, very beginning and being brilliant, and the characters are superb. How many characters can be thrown in with a Time Lord. He's an alien from a different time, a different planet, and then get threatened by various nasty people from around the universe, and then various monsters, and get threatened with extermination every 10 minutes. You have to be a strong person to go through those stories.
Well, it started with Barbara, and Barbara was a really strong character. Like she didn't take anything lying down. She's amazing.
Yeah, but as I said, the best thing about Leela is that she was physically capable of handling herself, other than the other companions. Some of them were, but she was, and
she was a warrior, wasn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Where it was in I can't pronounce that. When I gave her that meat, and she
with the talents,
I gave her the knife. Yeah, I gave her the knife.
It's a good knife.
That's my favorite scene when she's eating with light touch, and there's this
so
that comedy.
And also that's really stupid bit, and I know why they did it. I know the history behind it is where the light goes off. The one in the greenhouse, and your eyes have turned blue. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
Oh yes, in Horror of Fang Rock. Yeah,
that one made me laugh. But yeah, I mean, as I said, right, I just wanted to see if my memories were the same as when I just wanted to remember it again. So I watched them all, and I thought, you know what? She's probably one of the best companions we've ever had.
I think that character is better when you go back to it after a few years. It's not only just as good as you remember, but there's another layer to it somewhere.
Yeah.
Mega the Extremist in the chat here says, best Leela line ever. You will do as the Doctor instructs, or I will cut out your heart.
Listen, that line should be on, and here's the merchandise people. That line should be on a T-shirt, because it works. It tells you exactly who it is.